I don't even know how to preface this episode today because I think it's going to be a little low key. But buckle up, we got Chef Nino here. I think this is going to be our easiest episode today, don't you think, John?
Oh, no doubt. We like to talk with folks and have conversations with people that are helping others, and you do such an amazing job. Your reach is so large, and you help people. You were talking with me earlier discussing how you're helping people get healthy and get off their medications from healthy eating, healthy habits, and healthy lifestyles. And we just think you're amazing, man.
Yeah.
It's almost like I'm a culinary evangelist,
Amen.
giving people
Amen.
hope
Yeah.
and practical ways to change.
Thank you.
That they can. And I'm so excited. And my footprint has really grown since I seen you guys
Yes,
last.
sir.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, Humana closed all the guidance centers, and I had to kind of reposition myself like so many people. But I'm reaching more people now and with a message, and I have that message, man, and I'm
Yeah.
so excited.
Tell us about that message.
Oh, man. Yeah. Okay, the message is this. Change is possible. A lot of people are stuck. They're down, man. Stagnant. And they think maybe I'm too old to change, or I'm too far gone, or I have a diagnosis, or I have this hereditary problem I can't get over. And I say, phooey, change is possible.
Yeah.
Never too late to start over.
I heard
You're
that.
never too far gone. And you can beat a lot of your hereditary by changing your habits, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's the message, you know? And we've seen changes happening in people. And the more people move, I tell people, movement is medicine. Get off of your couch, get an agenda book and fill it up, all right, with activity. And the more active you are, the healthier you're going to be. You know, and I tell people, hey, if you're not active, your body's going to tell you, hey, I guess you don't need me anymore, do you?
That's
Yeah.
right. It's
And you're going to get
shut down.
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you're busy, your body says, hey, you can't stop now. You
Give me
got too
more.
much to do. Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Well, how do you mix in that message of activity and the food? Because I think, you know, not that people just came to eat, but
Yeah.
they enjoyed how you presented the information, the entertainment part of it. So kind of take us through let's call it the last 5 years, because I think
Yes,
that's
sir.
where you really have kind of moved into a whole different space when, you know, I know you do some stand-up. I know you got a cooking show. I know you have a book, a best-selling book.
yeah, crazy.
So
man.
tell us about all that, 'cause that's what we
International
want to know.
best-selling book. 5 countries.
Yeah, me and my
Man,
girlfriend were in Rome a couple of weeks, you know, and my publishers called me and said, you're an international bestseller. I'm like, oh, Thibodeau, my last name, from Franklin, Louisiana. But in the book, How to Start a Circus, I put how from homelessness 25 years ago, and I was, because
What a story.
I came back from Italy broke with a high dollar on my head to pay child support and alimony, which I wasn't even able to because I couldn't practice what I was doing in Italy, okay? So I couldn't afford a house. I had to live with my grandmother, and then my daddy kicked me out because I was working at Jana King at night, cleaning petroleum helicopter in Morgan City,
Really?
Thibodeau Women's at night, selling cell phones a day. And it wasn't even enough to pay my court-ordered child support.
Wow.
I had to reinvent myself, okay? Well, that means I'm homeless, living out of my car at the Hampton Inn in Houma, Louisiana, and I was a manager of a cell phone booth. No one knew it, okay? And after 3 days, I needed a daggone shower, and I would steal food in the morning from the buffet. I would pretend I'm a guest, which I since, no, I'm not joking. I was hungry, man, you
gotta do
know?
what you gotta do. I
I
hear
was
you.
making good money, but it was all going court order, or you going to jail, okay? So, I needed a bath, man. I needed to shave. I'm a manager of a cell phone booth, you know? And so I would eat the big breakfast there, and I would steal enough for supper. I did that for a while. And then whenever a guest would come out of their room, and they smell so good, man, that freshly bathed smell with aftershave, you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? Like I used to be able to do.
Yeah.
When they would walk out, I would go there and put my foot in the door. You know, I closed real slow.
yeah.
And I lived that way for a while. Yeah. And then from that got me an apartment. But anyway, doing all that, I started Nino, Chef Nino. And I wrote on a big piece of sticky pad that I stole from a doctor's office. Yeah. And I put, what can I do? I put all the stuff that I can do. Then I put on another one, what do I want to do based on what I can do? I'm 40 years old at the time, man. I don't want to do something the rest of my life. And then I put how to do it. And I outlined Friends of Italy, Chef Nino Culinary Institute and Language School. And I started, and now let's fast forward 25 years later. I have my seasonings on the market, and I bought 3 airplanes with salt and pepper.
Wow.
Sailing yachts,
Yeah.
land, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I wrote the book. Not because I want to write a book, but I want to defibrillate people with an idea. You can do it with nothing, you know? And so that's where we're in a motivation business.
About to say, it's motivation on paper right there.
Yes, sir. And that's what we do in the audiences. We use humor, a lot of humor,
Got to.
because everybody's going through something. And in the audience we have, everybody's bearing a burden. Maybe they have a diagnosis. Maybe they're in pain. Maybe, am I going to outlive my money? Will my money run out? All the fast changing laws, Medicare and all of that, how to keep up with that. So I make them laugh and give them good food and teach them how to slowly change their lifestyle. So it's kind of like the whole package. And I introduce some scripture and spirituality. And since I've been doing that, so many doors have opened. So I think I'm on track.
Yeah.
You're doing the right thing.
When you speak to a group, I know you did the stand up and you've demonstrated, we've seen your cooking classes and all that. What do you key in on when you start talking to seniors about how to change that lifestyle? How do you change your eating habits? How do you get off your diabetic medication, or, obviously all with the doctor's
Yes, sir.
diagnosis?
Well,
Or, how do you do that?
Before I go into how to, I start with getting them to believe they can.
Yeah.
Because if you don't believe you can give somebody a lift, But I start with the belief. With God, all things are possible. You can change. All right. Let your food be your medicine. But I tell them that it's going to take some effort on your part. Even Jesus said, "Seek and you will find." You got to do something. You want to find it, you got to seek.
You got to go look.
Ask, it shall be given.
Yeah.
Knock,
And
it
the door
shall
will
be open. So God don't give miracles to lazy people just sitting on the couch,
Put forth some effort.
And if I'm asking God for healing, I can't expect God to heal me if I'm not willing to stop the things making me sick.
Well, what do you think? What do you think is the biggest number one issue with any population, senior, young, as far as their food intake, and what do they need to key in on? Because I think that's what you do, is say this instead of that, or this instead of that.
And brother, let me tell you, I wrote these things down because I get a little nervous with cameras, and you know what I'm saying?
I don't think so.
I'm lying. You know how you can tell when I'm lying? My lips move. Okay, all right, you ready?
Yes, go.
All right, I lost 50 pounds.
How'd you do that?
I got a list, thank you. Not with a pill, not with a plan, not with a potion, not with a mix. In fact, just the opposite.
Yeah. What'd you do?
Number one, sugar.
Okay.
I was an addict. In your brain, they got this thing called a hypothalamus. It don't matter. Anyway, so it registers pleasure. Crack cocaine. Woo, pleasurable. Sugar, same sensation. Try to get off of sugar. Sugar is poison. Nothing but pure poison. Get off of sugar, you're going to, I'm talking about all sugar. Anything sweet like that, okay? You want to drop weight? Sugar. Man-made carbohydrates. Anything man touched, ground up.
Processed.
Cookies, cakes, chips.
In a box.
In a box. Yeah, I got off all that, man. My weight dropped, got healthy.
What'd you replace it with?
Okay, if God made it, it's all right. If man touched it anyway.
It ain't all right.
So when I pass the vegetables and the meat and the fish, that's it. Yeah. So, yeah. And, okay, sugar, man-made carbohydrate, got off of all vegetable oils. Did you know, man, I'm about to get.
Go ahead and get up.
Look. Canola oil, right? In World War II, they used canola oil, or there is no such thing as canola. It's rapeseed, all right? Look it up, rapeseed from Canada. They supplied the military forces who were allies. That's the tractor grease. They put it on their ships,
and we're eating
that oil so the salt wouldn't eat up it's rapeseed. And after the war, they had all this surplus and they wasn't making any money. So they hydrogenized it, all right, and made it pourable. And they sold it to the as healthy oil, okay? Any vegetable oil, the way it's processed, and we'll take a whole show and do that one day, it's killing your gut, man. All your vegetable oils, your seed oils, all right, whatever they are. The only oil we should be using for health is olive oil. Hold on. Cold pressed olive oil. 80% of the olive oils in the stores are garbage.
Yep.
All right. It's the first squeezing of the olive,
first
the
squeeze,
cold press.
That's right.
That's it. And they
avocado
take
oil?
those peelings, sir.
Avocado oil, is that a good one?
Avocado oil and coconut oil. That's it. That's the only oils they just press and done. All the other seed oils, to get the oil out, they have to heat it up. They have to put this chemical, this petroleum chemical in there to separate it, okay? All right? It's like, it's petroleum, man, to loosen it up. And then it starts stinking, man. And then they got to deodorize it. All right? And so you get a piece of fried chicken. It's fried in that vegetable oil. That oil has been heated up, cooled down, heated up, cooled down, heated up, cooled down. Cancer, man, cancer. And you get in your gut, all right? You change your gut health. You're going to lose the weight. You're not going to be depressed. That's where depression comes from. Not here, but here. Anyway, so the seed oils, all right? Then nitrates, all right?
Explain that.
Well, night rates are cheaper than day rates. No, just a little humor. Thank you, our producer, Mr. Stewart, and staff there. And yeah, he speaks English. We have very little to talk about. I don't know English. My teacher read my term paper in school, and she said I was illiterate. I thought she said I was illegitimate. No, but anyway, nitrates. Okay. So if you cook a pork roast, what color is it when you finish cooking it?
Brown.
No, cut it open.
A little pink.
Mm.
White.
Depends on how you cook.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm thinking of
It is white or gray color.
you said pot roast.
Cut it open, not pork roast.
Pork roast.
Can y'all company do drug testing on the owners and
Pork
partners?
roast. We got pork roast.
Yeah, pork roast. What color is it?
White.
Or pale gray? Yeah. Now, would you go in your deli and give me 2 pounds of ham that's gray or white?
No, sir.
You want that beautiful pink color. Where does it come from? This chemical that causes cancer in your gut, that slows your metabolism, that causes senior moments and aches and pain is called nitrates. It's in every process. Salamis, pepperoni, ham, all of that. Sausage, boudin. Go try to find something without nitrates.
Well, how do they replace that to get the meat? They don't. So what is the option?
Cook a pork roast. Stop the addiction of sugar. Stop. Yeah. Look, when you see what nitrates are doing to our guts, oh my God. Now look, y'all, you might be new to the health word about really eliminating something. Don't worry. There's a lot of stuff. That's okay. It's a big mountain, but start with baby steps. Start with, I'm going to get rid of sugar. Start with this. And you know what thing you should be getting rid of? The thing that's in your head right now. You know what you need to get rid of.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need information. We got so much information. We can ask Google anything.
That's right.
We need inspiration, and that's why I'm here to defibrillate you. Now, I don't do good. Before I met my girlfriend, I didn't have luck with romance. I said, Siri, why have a hard time with romance? She said, this Alexa. I can't even get that right, man. I even went to the Grand Canyon. I love you. You know, came back. I just want to be friends. Yeah. Okay, so look, baby steps, okay? And you know what I encourage everybody? Find somebody healthier than you that's further down the road that knows more, and keep a food diary.
Right.
And compare, okay?
Compare notes.
Compare your notes.
See
That's
what
right.
they're doing right so you can follow their feet, their footsteps.
Exactly. Yes. And, you know, stay with sugars, man-made carbohydrates, vegetables, nitrates. And can I tell you what's killing America?
I know what it is. You are the salt of the earth, although you have some low sodium spice mixes, don't you?
Oh, yes,
Tell me
sir.
about salt. I want to hear about salt. What does that do to us?
Well, here's the thing. There's controversy about salt. We need salt, man.
Not too much, though.
Not too much. Yeah. So I like using sea salt in my products, you know. It's not that sea salt is better for you, but table salt. Remember the little Martin girl, when it rains, it pours? Mm-hmm. Well, to keep it that way in South Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama kind of thing, they got to put a chemical in there, okay? Silicate. calcium silicate.
So it'll stay
Stay
dry.
dry. So it all goes to the silicate. When I say silicate, what word comes to your mind?
Silicone.
Cone. So imagine eating salt crystal wrapped in plastic wrap. Now,
Is that what we're
sounds
talking
Now,
about?
when you pull that salt, you taste. There ain't nothing, because it's wrapped. So what do? You put more. So when you get sea salt, don't have calcium silicate, just a little bit. It's salty and
That's why
flavor.
it tastes so salty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So
So in your seasonings, do you use sea salt
Yes, sir.
for that?
yes, sir. Yeah. Sea
Yeah.
salt. Yeah.
You know, I think part of the, my wife is really into exactly everything you're talking about. So I know that she's going to really connect with this conversation. And there's things out there that are, that are information that's available. But I think because we're so busy in life, we just run in and grab. We run in and grab this. We get this. That's quick to cook. This is quick to fix. And I think that if people would slow down a little bit and listen to what people are telling them, and understand, read the ingredients, figure out what is it I'm putting in my
Can
body.
I interject? I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
and I never want
No.
to take over. I really don't, and I appreciate.
I want you to.
I know I appreciate
Yeah.
y'all time and thank y'all for listening and production, and I'm very grateful. But we are so locked in and trained like a puppet or a parrot. Polly wants a cracker. Oh, low sodium, blah 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 blah. But you know what we're not doing? We're not reading the ingredients. I gave a case in point. We were delivering spices in Faraday, Louisiana. Faraday, Jerry Lee Lewis
yeah.
and Jimmy Swaggart. Yeah. And I said, let's stop at this little gas station, convenience store, deli, funeral home. They do everything in one spot, And they did one
Stop
funeral
and
home.
Get your taxes
Yeah.
done too.
So I said, and we don't eat man-made carbohydrates. We don't eat the breads and all of that. So we stopped in there and said, look, I just want a meat patty. What harm is in just the meat, right? So I told my girlfriend, hold on, what's her name? Kristen. I told Kristen, y'all, I am playing. So I said, so let me see the ingredients. So I asked the girl there. She said, well, it's in the back. I said, here's a little bit of tip. I want the box. So she got it. I took a picture and I have it here. Just the meat patty had 33 ingredients. 33 ingredients in the meat patty. Most of them petroleum-based product.
It should just have one ingredient, meat.
But I said, let me see nutritional facts. Low sodium, low fat, blah, 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 blah. Had I eaten that just on nutritional facts like most people, it don't matter. See, I can give you something to eat that has zero fat, zero sugar, zero carb, no MSG. It's called styrofoam. No, really. So we got to change our thing. Yeah, keep with the nutritional facts. Yeah, but read the ingredients. Okay.
Yeah.
And so had I assembled the whole hamburger with the bun had 45 ingredients.
Wow.
Read the ingredients on your bread. All right. The cheese had 12. The ketchup had like 7. I would have eaten 100 ingredients, mostly petroleum based.
In a burger.
And our great FDA. And why is it the Food and Drug Administration? They're passing harmful foods, knowing they're going to be able to sell you drugs. Anyway, that's another thing. You can cut it out if you want. I don't want some government official. Just shoot me.
Yeah.
Okay, but why is the same office? Anyway, so I would have eaten 100 ingredients. Now, had just nutritional facts. Get your big breakfast, you got another 100. And at night, another 100. So you got all these harmful chemicals that our body's trying to process. Maybe our senior moments is not because we're senior. Maybe we got brain fog trying to process all the chemicals.
Yeah.
Start being clean, eat clean,
So
Yeah.
what's the answer to that person that goes in the store that doesn't have all the knowledge you have, but what's a simple way that they can start paying attention to that? Because I'm kind of in that market in
Yes.
terms of, I don't know all the facts. I just try to pay attention as much as I can to, what my wife tells me, this is good, this is bad.
Always listen to your wife.
Always listen.
Oh, trust me.
But
I have learned.
yeah, but you talk to people and they say, man, I just don't know what to get, so I'm just going to get what I normally get.
Yeah.
But that's not changing anything. So
Yeah.
what's a good way for people to at least make that first step? You say read the ingredients, but they
Get
don't
you some
understand.
get you some doggone good cold pressed olive oil always, okay? And learn to saute your garlic and your vegetables and get meat and fish. That's a good step right there.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff in the box going to have so much shelf stabilization things and
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. You know, and our FDA says they pass 10,000 chemicals that they can put in the food that is legal. You know what I'm saying? So you can't trust the government or even a grocery store that it's okay.
Tell you what to eat.
So baby steps, stop all the stuff, saute. And I will say, people say I ain't got time to cook. You ain't got nothing else to do but cook. You go in a restaurant, their main goal is not to make you healthy, but to make it taste good. To do that, we're talking about the MSG and the excitotoxins and the things where to make it taste good,
Yeah.
you know, and fat. So learn to cook at your house again. You're going to be healthier. If you eat out more than you cook at your house, you are unhealthy. All right?
Yeah.
All right. If you cut with a cutting board at your house, the more you cut at your house, the less a surgeon is going to have to cut on you.
That makes sense.
That's a good
That
philosophy.
makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, does anybody ever tell you, well, it's more expensive to eat healthy?
Yeah. And can I say this?
Tell me about
If
it.
you're going to save money on clothes or shoes, like you. I mean, you must eat. No, I'm just joking. You look really good. No, but what I'm saying is, once you made up your mind, I'm going to get healthy, my food is going to become my medicine. And yeah, it is going to cost more, okay? But will it not cost more if you're unhealthy with copays and all the Mylanta and the Metamucils and the acid reflux and the hundreds of dollars we spend every year on this stuff because we're eating wrongly, you know?
Yeah.
And truthfully, we find money for that which we want. But when we get totally convinced that we can make a change in our life, money's going to appear. And we're not buying the energy drinks and the snacks and this and that, you know?
And let's be honest, how much does it cost to go out to eat?
What,
Let's
man,
just
can
think
we
about that right there.
That's great. Great analogy right there. Yeah.
How much can you get at the grocery store on one meal that you didn't go out to eat?
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. And you're going to be healthier. And, you know, I don't know about you, but like, since I made these changes, and look, it's evolutionary. I'm learning and growing. You can't change this in one time, but you can take baby steps, like
Yeah.
you said. You know, if you look at the whole mountain of everything, yeah, you're gonna get discouraged and say, "The heck with it," you know. But I wake up at 63 years old, no arthritis pain. I have the energy of any 5 men, and I mean that. I live out in the country. I chop my wood. You know what I'm saying? I'm on no high blood pressure man. Nothing. Why? I heal myself with a fork. With a fork, you can heal yourself with what you eat, or you can dig your grave. I have chose this to heal me. Yeah.
Right.
Your fate is in your plate.
Amen.
Well,
Listen to that.
You know, obviously
A Ninoism.
we're in Louisiana. What do? We eat a lot.
Oh my goodness.
All we do is eat.
But let's talk about when you do go out to eat, you're gonna
sir.
treat yourself.
Yeah.
You know, you have an occasion to go out to eat. How do you kind of look at a menu and say, okay, if I'm listening to what Chef Nino's telling me, how do I make that effect on the menu? Because you know, if you're getting most of that stuff could come out of a box, could be.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's fresh. So how do you look at your food when you eat out to say, okay, I'm gonna do the best I can where I'm at?
Yeah. Me and my girlfriend do that. We travel
'Cause you eat
to
out.
many
I know you
states.
do.
We have to. Yeah. But you can even, some of the restaurants have like a little heart right there, more heart healthy. And I see a shift. They trying to appeal to more health conscious people, you
Yeah.
know, because people like me, when you're in town, you don't eat out. With restaurants, hey, wait a minute, we better change out a few things, you know. What I found in the more ethnic cuisines, like for example, Indian or even Mexican, is more pure form of to what the food is instead of all the preservatives, because they're hand cutting their stuff. Find a restaurant that's going to hand cut their stuff and not get everything frozen or in a box or a bag, you know.
Right.
And eat out less. You know, me and my girlfriend have amazing meals. And now, granted, I do cook. You know, I know how to make that happen. But I'll cook, and it's like a date. We go to the grocery store and get some really nice things, and we'll make a nice candles and all. You know, so yeah.
So it's just sticking with the good meat, the vegetables, stuff
Fish.
that's fresh that you can then turn it into to
Yes.
your meal instead of opening a box, boiling the water, dropping it in there.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's
everybody wants parboiled, which has no fiber. Everybody wants quick. There ain't nothing quick and easy about this solution to your
Right.
health. But can you think of something better, a better hobby? The health needs to be our hobby, man. You know, and you find money for hobbies, don't we? Fishing
do.
boats.
And without your health.
And look, for the girls out there, you know, instead of doing your nails, spend it at the grocery store on foods that's going to heal you. You know what I'm saying? And I want to tell you something, and you can look it up if you want. How many gallons of blood you think goes in your heart and out of the heart every day? 24 hours. How many gallons?
I have no idea.
We'll take a guess.
I'm going to say 300.
300. Would you do me a favor? Get your phone and just
I don't have my phone on.
you don't have. Okay. Well, here's Google. All right. Watch it. I know the answer, but you ain't gonna believe me. How many gallons of blood goes through your heart every day? Mm-hmm. Would you right up there? What is that number? And say it to the people where they can see it.
2,000.
Holy Moses.
Okay. So
2,000 gallons.
in and out, 2,000 gallons, man.
Wow.
What is 2,000 gallons? You could fill up 133 cars in one day with the volume of blood goes through your heart. In 1 week, if it's 2,008 times 7, that's 14,000 gallons. What does 14,000 gallons look like? Every week, 14,000 gallons. You know what it looks like?
A swimming pool.
You know the tanker that fills up the gas station?
Yes.
That's 14,000 gallons.
Golly.
In a lifetime, if you turn on the faucet in your kitchen and let it run every day, night day for 46 years, that's how much blood goes to your heart. Every second it pumps about a jigger full of blood. Now, it's the size, make a fist. That's your heart right there, dude. It's twice the strength of a sprinter's leg muscle.
Wow.
It's 2,000. Did you know that?
No, I had no idea.
Now, with something that tiny, pumping so much,
We better take care of it.
should we maybe push ourselves to exercise?
Yeah.
Should we make excuses? Should we lose the weight maybe to make it stronger? Yeah. Every day I'm doing my 50 push-ups, 100 sit-ups. We hike the world. We're active. Now, exercise is different for you and it is for me. Talk to your healthcare professional before you start any exercise regimen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But wherever you are, whatever you do, push yourselves a little more with that knowledge. Okay? 2,000 gallons a day, man.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought. You know, I think that
That's amazing.
when, you know, people, you know, and I do it, make excuses why I don't do this, why I eat that versus this. And, you know, I'm 66 years old, so I'm trying to pay attention a little late in the game, but I'm trying to pay attention. So I understand, you know, because we deal in the senior population and they come in and see us and they go, how many meds you have? Oh, I got, and you count them up and you go, man, you take 10 medications, you know, 3 for blood pressure, 2 for cholesterol, this and that. And so, you know, you think about it and although some of those maybe don't cost that much, but just the fact that you got to take that. And if you can affect, and look, I'm no one to speak about it because I do take some, but I'm trying to remedy that with food, like you talk about, and we're not all perfect, but there has to be some easy tips and for these our customers about what can you do? What can you do in terms when you go buy your food and, you know, always look for this and look for that. And because they're going to say, well, it's too hard to cook healthy, but you do it every day. You show your shows. Talk about when you demonstrate to the seniors about cooking.
Yeah.
What do you key
Well,
on?
we talk about the methods of cooking too.
Right.
Instead of deep fat frying, sauteing your garlic and onions in a little olive oil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cold pressed olive oil.
Yeah, the good stuff.
Yeah. And when it's sauteed in olive oil with a little seasoning, man, it's better than fried. So we talking about the methods of cooking.
Right.
To keep the flavor in there and still keep it healthy.
Yes, because if it don't taste good, we're not gonna change.
Exactly.
Man, I'm from Louisiana.
Yeah.
I don't care how healthy it is. If it don't taste good, I ain't gonna eat it.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna eat no rice cakes. No, really, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we talk about the methods of cooking, then we talk about ingredient substitution, you know? For example, all of your mayonnaises have seed oils. It's junk. It's gonna clog your gut. Even the olive oil mayonnaise has a little bit of olive oil and the rest vegetable oil.
Yeah.
So we make our own mayonnaise. Easy to do.
So could you give us a couple ingredients for that homemade mayo?
Oh, yes, sir. Well, I ate so much mayonnaise last year, I had to go to the Mayo Clinic. I'm sorry, man. So, and also a merry heart does good like a medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to laugh, man. Yeah. It's really easy, and you can Google some good recipes on YouTube, you know. Olive oil, a little bit of vinegar, salt, pepper, lemon juice, and that
Did
food
you whip it up?
processor, ready to go. Some use a little bit of egg. Yeah. Oh, man. And it's so creamy and delightful, and you know what's in it. I thought, well, I'm going to eat olive oil mayonnaise. That's healthy, right? And I read the ingredients, sunflower oil, sassafras, all that
So
stuff.
is it safe to say anything that's seed oil, don't do it?
All. Because of how they make it, man.
Yeah.
You know, you see, they can't just press it and get the oil. Olive oil is not oil, it's the juice of an olive. You know? And it has about a 5,000-year track record of health benefits. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want to have oil that they call healthy that used to grease tractors and ships.
Because it says vegetable in it. That's healthy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What a
One time it
misconception.
was, but to get your corn oils, the other oils, you know, oat, corn, soybeans, wheat, all that stuff. To get the oils from that, they put hexane, a petroleum chemical, heat it up. It separates the oil from that seed. Now they got that seed oil with the hexane, and it stinks to high heaven. They had to put deodorizer in there, man, and chlorine. Okay? Yeah.
That
And
can't
then
be
it
good.
goes to a separator, and the centrifuge slings out the petroleum, and then you got this right here. And your body was never made to have that. And so all your gut, if you have digestion issues or leaky gut or this, probably because of those seed oils. Get rid of all of that. Switch to only avocado oil, coconut oil, olive oil, and that's probably going to clear up. We ingest so many things. And, you know, we like coffee, and I drink mine black. I love the sugar. And I love that Cremora, whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Coffee mate.
Yeah.
What I want you to do, take a lighter and pour that powder over it. It's flammable.
No
It's
kidding.
incendiary. I promise you. Try it. Yeah.
We're going to try that. in
Try
just
it.
a few
Try it.
minutes.
Look. Lighter, that.
Wow.
So these things, like, for example, acid reflux, we treat the acid reflux. Why don't we say keep a food? What are you eating causing the acid reflux? When you get a check engine warning light, you don't put a piece of tape over it. Well, that's what we're doing with these medicines. See, you got a problem with your engine. You got a problem that you're ingesting. You get rid of the inflammatory stuff. It's going to clear up the acid reflux. But there ain't no money in the cure, is it?
That's what they say. I got a question for you. We're in the South Louisiana right now.
Yes, sir.
We use a lot of butter to cook.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on butter? Is there a clean butter?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Oh, yeah. Butter should have 2 ingredients. Sweet cream and salt.
Amen.
That's it. You going to get butter, they going to have natural flavoring. You know there's 400 ingredients the FDA says you can put in a product and call it natural flavoring.
No, I did not know that.
And you eat that butter. If you eat, and I'm not, these people don't sponsor me yet, Kerrygold.
That's the good
That's
one.
what we-
I
that's
was
what
going to
we
ask you
use.
about Kerrygold.
2 ingredients.
That's what we use.
And you
Kerrygold.
taste it. Oh my goodness, it tastes like butter I had when I was a kid at my grandma's house. You know that ceramic thing, and it stayed out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before they started adding to it.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Nothing wrong with butter.
I saw a guy, I was watching a video one day, just surfing around, and he said, "You want to make your own butter?" And he did this thing in a mason jar. He
Yeah.
put in sweet cream and a little bit of pinch of salt, and he was shaking that thing crazy.
Yeah.
And it got
We
thick.
make our own. Yeah.
Yeah.
You put it in that food
food pro-
processor.
I made
Yeah.
some.
Cream and butter. That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
So you can take sweet cream, salt, and make butter.
That's it, brother. Yeah.
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 And brother, stay away from hydrogenated oils like Parquet and Crisco. Oh my
Yeah.
yeah.
But you know,
goodness.
something interesting when you talk about ingredients is, I told you, my wife is all about looking at what's in something.
Good for
and,
her.
And I'm not going to use names. Think of the best mustard on the shelf. Go
Yeah.
get it and read how many ingredients are in there. I went and picked up an off-brand mustard that was, you'd probably pass it by, and looked on the back. You know what it had? It said vinegar, mustard powder.
Yeah.
So it only had 2 ingredients in it.
Yeah. See,
And it was the cheapest. And I'm like, why
all
is that?
for that. So what I'm saying is,
The less ingredients, the better.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
But
nutritional
I didn't
facts.
understand. I'm like,
go below the nutritional facts, get the ingredient.
yeah. But I was
Read the
shocked.
labels.
I was shocked. And because I have an app that we use and you scan the barcode and it'll tell you the ingredients.
Yeah.
And I would have never thought that a name brand high dollar mustard, and we're talking about mustard here. Okay, you think, oh, I'm going to get the best because it costs the most. But then you got this little mustard sitting over here that's cheap.
Ain't that something?
And that's
I
the
turned
better
it over, I looked on the back, and I was shocked because I scanned it and it said thumbs up. And I'm like, okay, it's got 2 things in it. It's got mustard powder or mustard seed, whatever they call it, and vinegar. That was it. And it was the cheapest. So I get what you're saying about, going back to what the ingredients are, not necessarily, because if you think about it, if they're making a bunch of it, maybe they got to preserve it. It's got to be shelf stable. They got to do all these things to mass produce it.
It's the same thing with olive oil. When you go into these places where you got to have a membership, those olive oil, think about how precious olive oil is, okay? They're going to have to cut it with something. Your best olive oil is going to be cold pressed.
First press.
First press, yes,
Yeah.
sir. That's the first squeezing. Then they take those peelings and add hexane, extract more oil. That's where you get your garbage olive oil. They're labeled garbage oils. Well, they're called pure olive oil, light olive oil, 100% olive oil.
Yeah.
Anyway, they don't have the health benefits. They don't have the taste, the flavor. Cold pressed olive oil.
It's almost spicy. If it's,
Oh, it is.
Oh,
yeah,
I love it.
And it's kind of bitter but grassy.
So
Oh,
delicious.
man. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a symphony. But your best olive oils, they're going to have the place where it was made, the mill.
So what's coming up for you
Well,
that you can talk about?
yes, sir. Yeah. No. Everything's open. I filmed about 300 episodes for Humana. Like if people want to go to humananeighborhoodcenter.com website,
Yeah.
humananeighborhoodcenter.com website.
Are all your videos on there?
Not all, but
a good bit of
Humana
them?
filmed me. They built a studio and all of that in Louisville. We used to go over there, and then so we have a lot of that kind of stuff. But man, we are in Foley. For example, Monday I'm in Foley from 1 to 3, and then we're driving 8 hours to go to Knoxville.
For some more demonstrations.
More demonstrations, yes, sir. And we were just in Nashville at this
Wow.
big Baptist church, mega church, 30,000 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we got commitments now for Birmingham, Chattanooga,
Right.
Pensacola, and it's like, brother, there's so many opportunities, man. Why? I'm giving a clear message on change, and people are changing. And when we go back, I say movement is medicine. The seniors are telling me, hey, because of that, and I realized my heart is pumping 2,000 gallons. I started moving more, and I'm doing this, and I gave this up, and my doctor took this medicine away.
Yeah.
And I tell people, don't try to get off your medicine yourself. Talk to your doctor.
Yeah.
I want to try to reduce this or get off of it. And
Yeah.
it is possible, man.
Yeah.
I got off of my high blood pressure medicine. I was pre-diabetic. I was this. I was that. And the doctor asked me, does heart disease run in your family? Yes. Does this run in your family? Yeah. But what ran in my family? Stupidity.
Yeah.
Was it hereditary or was it habit?
Yeah.
Bad habits.
It was habits. I can change my outcome, and
By you changing
hereditary.
your habits.
Yeah, I might have a loaded gun, but it's up to me if I pull a trigger or not.
That's
Okay,
right.
can I get a witness?
Yeah.
Can I get $20 for the building fund? I don't need the money, but you need the blessing. So send in your tax deductible donation. Know what I'm saying? I give half my money to charity. That's my first wife's name.
Yeah.
But anyway, through humor, a little bit of scripture, and the practical part of this,
Right.
we're
Yeah.
reaching audiences that are just totally confused.
Yeah.
And then they get on this right here.
that's-
Do
that's
this,
the-
do
that's
this,
the
but
devil.
buy this book, buy this plant. What I'm telling you, ain't got to buy nothing. Just eliminate some things.
Yeah.
The sugars, the refined carbohydrates, and chemicals, and
Do you, on your website, do you publish any, or is there any place that you publish any of your recipes that they can follow, or your tips?
Brother,
have you gotten
truthfully-
to that point yet?
Not yet. Well, you know why? I was with that grocery store I just mentioned for 16 years, and they had full intellectual rights of recipes. I was with Humana for they had intellectual rights.
Yeah.
So now I'm Nino representing Nino. And so I need to get busy doing that.
Yeah.
So you kind of ignited that. And
Okay.
yeah. So, but brother, I have some flavorful recipes, and with ingredient substitution and methods of cooking, we got some good stuff, brother. I've been doing this for 17, 18 years in the health business, health world, and now I'm ready. I'm the most prepared I've ever been. I just got to stop and get it ready and accessible to the folks. So
is there any social media that you have that you could put out there for people to follow? Like, do you have a Facebook page?
Yeah, I have a Facebook, Neil Anthony Thibodeau. Neil, N-E-I-L, Anthony Thibodeau, Thibodeau.
So it's not Chef Nino. Just go.
Yeah, just Neil Anthony Thibodeau.
Yeah, because that's how I follow what you're doing. We're friends on Facebook, and I see you all over the place. And when I was wanting to get you here, I'm like, I got to figure out when he's going to be in town. So, I would encourage people to go to the Facebook page, follow what you're doing, because you have a lot of good information on there. Maybe they'll pick an event that's close to their area, because we know we deal with people in multiple states. So I'm hoping that somebody, even not in our Baton Rouge area, that may be in a different area, that is exposed to the message and that can follow what you're doing and get inspired to change their life in terms of what they eat, how they eat it, and what they buy, and just make that change that you're talking about. And so we're inspired to help you move that message.
Yes,
so
sir.
Anything we can work with you on in terms of getting that out to the people we can touch.
Yes.
That's all we're asking is keep us in that
And
plan.
I want to be part of the team now.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming
Loved
today.
having you, man.
Yeah.
You always make me laugh.
It
It's
was
always entertaining, and we learn
It was
something.
awesome. And next time, try to bring a little energy.
Well, you know what, brother? So I'm really kind of subdued. My grandfather died 56 years ago. I was like 7 years old. We didn't know his blood type. Had we known his blood type, he would have lived. The last thing he told the crying family members before he died, he said, "Be positive." But Grandpa, what's your blood type? You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just joking. Hey, keep a merry heart. Include the scripture or whatever that means for you, and realize change is possible. And let today be the first day of the rest of your life. Keep a food diary. Find somebody healthier and further down the road than you. And next time we meet, I want y'all to tell us about the changes you've made. So God bless you.
Good.
We on your side. I'm on y'all's side. I want to help you reach your goals. I want to help you reach your goals. Thank you for watching. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you
Yes,
for
sir.
coming.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Hope you enjoyed our discussion today on Plus 65 Digital. Reach out to us at info@plus65advisors.com or give us a call at 225-408-4100. Make Plus 65 Advisors part of your Medicare process.